Hey, hi everybody. So here once again I am Manik from the channel Literature Study at Home. I welcome you. So today I am going to discuss with you another prominent literary theorist and his key ideas or concepts. Today I am going to decide to deal with you Louis Althusser. He was born in 1918, and do you know, he was a philosopher and he focused on Marxist ideas, and he was part of French Communist Party. So being a French nationalist, his goal to develop a new way of understanding the theory of Marxism. So he started a new journey and prepared a new kind of Marxism that is called structuralist Marxism. So actually he is a true hardcore Marxist. Unfortunately, his life was marked by severe mental illness, and in a tragic incident, in 1980 he killed his wife Helen Rittman, and due to his mental state, and he was unable to cope up, and he was not tried in court too, but was instead placed in a psychiatric hospital for 3 long years. So it's a tragic history for this man. Now let us try to discuss his concepts, key concepts given by Louis Althusser. The first concept I just want to share with you, being a Marxist, he wanted to defend the theory of Marxism. Althusser believed that Marxism, that is the theory that explores the struggles between classes in society, and this is common. This idea is very much, regularly, uttered by the so-called readers, scholars. So it was, according to him, under threat from different directions. He saw various issues, and among them, like the first one is empiricism. That means, in empiricism, you have to rely only on observable data. On the other hand, he also talked about humanist ideas that focuses mainly on human values and concerns. So in society, there are diverse kind of such views. So these diluting the core of Marxist theory. Now let us try to understand with the example what actually, or by which way Althusser is defending Marxism. Imagine you are in a debate, and this debate is about how your society should be organized. So one side, there are people, they are arguing that we should focus only on data and what we can measure, like money, jobs, salary, etc. On the other hand, there are other kind of people. So they argue we should focus on human values like happiness, freedom, everything. So here Althusser argued that focusing too much on either side, that means your job, your salary, on the other hand, your happiness or freedom, could weaken the true understanding of how society works according to Marxist principles. So this is the first concept, how Althusser was trying to defend Marxism. Now the next one, he rejected Marxist humanism. So the second concept is his rejection of early Marxist humanism. So Althusser argued against what he saw as humanism in the early works of Karl Marx. Instead, he supported the later works of Marx because he believed these works were more scientific and focused on the structure of society. Just try to understand with the example. Think about how you might approach solving a problem like poverty. So as a humanist, as a human being, your approach from the humanistic point of view might focus on helping people directly, like giving food or money. Now, however, Althusser would argue that it is a more important matter to look at the bigger picture, not only to these few patches. Saying this, you are trying to helping them. Now, he is in a mood to say that how the whole system of society and economic its structure should be understood by us, and then change that, the problem, the scenario, so that you can completely change the problem that is called poverty. Okay, so with the help of money, food, it will not completely erase the poverty. So his idea is that. Now the third concept is complex society. So here Althusser's idea was that society is not just determined by so-called economics. That means how money and resources are distributed. So according to him, our society is dependent by a complex interaction of different factors like culture, politics, ideology, and many other things. Just try to understand with an example. Consider how your daily life is shaped by different forces. You go to school, but for what reason? For getting education. You see advertisement, movies on TV for media. Okay. You have family beliefs. That is, you do not need to say any kind of wrong things to misguide people. This is your ideology. And you follow the laws set by government. So you are following all the things. So Althusser would say all these elements work together to shape how you think, how you behave, not just how much money you or your family has, isn't it? Now the fourth concept, ideology and ideological state apparatus. This is a significant path-breaking concept of Althusser. ISA, ideological state apparatuses. Althusser argued that ruling class, that means the people who are in power, they maintain control not just through force or law, like police do, like the military men do, like the ministers do, but through institutions. So they are practicing their power not by themselves. They use schools, media, churches, religious temples, etc. So these institutions spread ideas that keep the ruling class in power. Now try to understand it with an example. Think about how you are taught in school, about what is right, what is wrong, or how the media portrays success. So your thinking, your teaching in the schools are different from media. So these teachings and portrayals in media are not neutral. They often reflect the interest of those in power. For instance, if the media constantly shows that owning a big house or a luxury Mercedes car, okay, is the key to happiness, so it reinforces the idea that wealth equals to success. So which benefits those who are already wealthy, not the one who are becoming rich or wealthy. Now let's try to understand his fifth concept, and that is epistemological break. This is also an epoch-making concept from Althusser. So this is a term that is epistemological break. So here Althusser used to describe a major shift in our thinking. He believed that Marx underwent such a shift from focusing on humanist ideas to a more scientific approaches in his later work, and that is called shift. For example, imagine you used to believe that people are poor because they do not work hard enough. Okay, isn't it? This is called your humanist idea. They do not work, that's why they have no money, they are poor. But then you learn about how economic systems can trap people in poverty. Isn't it? No matter how hard they work. In case of they have taken any loan, any kind of process has begun, just like house making, education purpose, so they continuously put down more and more down. So this new understanding would be your epistemological break, a shift from one way of thinking to another. So these are the major concepts of Althusser. Now just try to understand his major works. What are these works? I would just like to put it chronologically so that it will be beneficial for you. The first one is for Marx. It was published in 1965. Here he argued that the idea that history follows a set of paths or history has a specific goal. Instead, he saw history as an unpredictable process that's shaped by various social practices, with the economy playing a dominant role. So this is not a very concretized idea. So here he has given from how humanistic idea to this scientific idea we changing for Marx rather. This is the first one. The second one was also published in the same year, and it is called Reading Capital. So this work examines how capital accumulation and worker exploitation lead to class struggles. So here Althusser and his co-author, they analyze the work of Marx's Das Kapital and discussed concepts like labor theory of value and dialectical materialism. Now the next book, Ideology and Ideological State Apparatuses. This is also a concept of him. It was published in 1970. So here Althusser expanded on Marx's theory of ideology and argues that the ruling class maintains power not just through force but also by controlling institutions like schools, media, temples, blah blah blah. Okay, so these institutions spread what? Ideologies, and that ideologies support the ruling classes people, the ruling classes control, and by this often without people realization they are constantly reaping their power. So that's all for today. So this is what I just want to convey from the perspective of Louis Althusser as a theorist, as a critic, as a cultural theorist. So that's all for today. Signing off.